This is the Roundup video for April 2020. As usual, I'm just going to run through the documentation website and then show you some of the features within the system. So starting from the 5th of April, we had the ability to print part numbers on the sales invoices and the ability to print the invoice due date as well. So I'll just go ahead and show you this. So you can see this document has a break disc on it, and you can see the part number here. And you can also see that it has payment terms applied. So if I go ahead and print this invoice, you can see that the part numbers are now displayed in brackets after the part description, and that the due date is also visible on the document now. So if you want to print the part numbers, if you scroll down the bottom of the document under invoice print options, you have print item number, and you just need to enable this slider here. We also added the ability to automatically send booking confirmations. So I'll just go ahead and show you how this works. I'll need to make a new booking to do this. So select MOT. Now the first time you close a job sheet after creating a booking, it's going to ask if you want to send a confirmation. So if I close the job sheet, you see I get a dialog now saying go ahead and send booking confirmation. If I press no, it's not going to ask me every time I close the job sheet. It'll just remember that you don't want to send a confirmation to this customer. If I say yes, then it will send a text message and an email, depending on your setup, to the customer with the booking information. To enable that feature, if you go to your customer notification setup, under booking confirmations, you'll see a slider called send on job sheet close. If this is enabled, then when you close the document, it's going to ask you to send the booking confirmation. So moving on, later in the month we added again some very specific COVID-19 features, all to do with the MOT expiry. So everybody's aware that the DVSA is adding a 6 months extension onto certain vehicles. It's typically happening up to a week before the vehicle is due to expire. And what we've actually added is the ability to see the vehicles that have been extended, but also see the ones that haven't yet, the ones that have been extended that haven't been extended. And if they have, you can see the previous date and the new date. So you'll see two new columns on the vehicle list. If I filter to vehicles that have received the exemption, you can see that I have the next MOT due date. I have a tick box to say it has received an extension, and I can see the pre-extension date. And this is really good for marketing purposes. So if I wanted to contact all the customers that have received an extension, then I can do so using the bulk SMS feature here. So I can filter the list to the vehicles extended within a certain date range, and then text all of those customers explaining that we're perhaps reopen. You want to try and get customers in before the huge backlog that's going to be coming later in the year. And you can actually include both dates to the customer as well. So it's a really good feature to keep in contact with your customers. We added the ability to bulk update MOT information. So from your vehicle list, it's quite a similar feature, but from your vehicle list, you can filter a range of vehicles, and under actions, you have MOT bulk lockup. So what this will do, all of the vehicles that you have filtered to, it will go ahead and update the MOT date en masse for you. And again, what is quite cool is if the vehicle does receive an extension, it will automatically tick this box for you and add the pre-extended date here. So that feature works really well with the COVID-19 MOT extension feature. We added ways to update the item cards from both job sheets and purchase orders. So again, I'll just go into a document and show you how this works. So I'm going to start from the purchase order side. So from a purchase order, you can see a new column called sales price. You may need to enable this column. But essentially, when I'm processing a part into stock via a purchase order, I can actually at this point dictate the retail price of that item. So if I update the retail price on the purchase order, It's first of all going to ask me if I want to update the item card. So the next time anybody sells that item, you have a consistent retail price. And then it's also going to ask me if I want to update the job sheet. So it's going to synchronize both the item card and the job sheet with the purchase order. So if I go back to the job sheet now, you can see that it's actually received the new retail price, which was set from the purchase order. So a really cool feature. What you can also do is modify the unit price in a job sheet, and it will also ask you if you want to update the unit price on the item card. So again, the next time a different member of staff prices that item up, it's already got the retail price that you last set that item to. We added contact name, booking date, and booking time to job sheets. So for those using paper job sheets, you can now see contact information and booking date and time from within the printed job sheet. And the final feature of April, again, it's to do with COVID-19, but it's something that extends way beyond COVID-19, was a feature that allows your customers to self-check-in. So this is a major piece of development that's come in April. I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. For COVID-19, what it allows you to do is install a key drop-off point for your customers so they can post their keys. They can essentially follow a link that you send them on their booking reminders, and they can self-check-in. So I'm just going to go and run through the self-check-in process with you just so you can see what the customer sees and then what you see on the side of Garage Hive. So when you set this up, under your booking reminders, there will be a tag, which will be a self-check-in tag. If you add that tag to the reminder, when the customer receives the text message a day before reminding them about their booking, it will also send them a link to self-check-in upon arrival. This is what it looks like when the customer opens the text message or the email. So it's mobile friendly, and this is the first screen that they'll come to. So what they do from this point, they confirm their booking information, so the vehicle, branch location, booking date and time, etc. They then need to tell you where their car is parked, essentially. So for those that have a big forecourt, this isn't such an issue, but those that have lots of on-street parking, it can be quite tricky to locate a customer's car. So what we first ask the customer to do is to upload a picture. They then select a parking location, so this can be taken straight from your Garage Hive system. They then need to state that their vehicle is legally parked. That's quite an important one, and then they just press continue. The third screen is about identifying the key. So you could obviously have 20, 25 customers posting keys at the same time. It's important that they identify which key belongs to which job. So again, they upload a picture of their key. They can type a message to reception, and then they need to state that their keys have then been posted, and they press continue. And then the last screen is customer information validation. So where you would typically ask the customer to confirm their contact number and email address whilst they're in front of you, this screen allows the customer to do that without speaking to an advisor. So they can modify, if they wanted to, they could modify a mobile phone number or an email address, and again, that will be sent through to the system. And then they press check-in. So from this point, the system will synchronize with the self-check-in system, and what it will actually do this will be set up to automatically synchronize, so you won't need to do this manually. And what it will do, if we go back to the home screen, you can see it's populated a tile here with a self-check-in to review. So if I open this back up, I can see that this job checked in, this job sheet number, the parking location, it's had pictures taken, customer's written some information here, and what the checked in time was. And from here, if I open the job sheet, you'll see that the vehicle has been marked on site automatically, that you've received an updated phone number and the message from the customer. You can see that it's actually uploaded the picture of the vehicle and the picture of the key as well. So it's been successfully checked in. At this point, you take the key out of the drop-in box, then just proceed as normal. And all I need to do from this point here is just state that I have reviewed this check-in. And if we go back to the home page, you can see that there is no more check-ins to review. So that's the final feature of April. I really hope you like the self-check-in feature. It is really powerful and it does really work. Customers are responding to it really well. So if you have any questions, as normal, please put them in the video, in the YouTube comments, or on the community forum. Thank you.